Ooh, looky. We got Jed Wallace deposition transcript. Yeah, we discussed monitoring. Looks like they're wondering about how he was talking to Miss Nathan. How did the services with Jed Wallace get set up? He's like, I'm not talking about you getting set up on X or Reddit. I'm talking about how did you text her? Was it Signal? And he goes, yeah, we use Signal and phone calls. By August 8th, have you had any communication with Melissa Nathan on Signal? And he says, related to this? The guy's like, on anything? Sounds like they work together a lot. He's like, oh yes. Oh, so did you, this is a little fumbly. Is this Gottlieb? Apple phone? It's like, did you use the iMessage? And it's like, well, it's Otto, bro. I don't know, like, if you have an Android, then it's green, but it sounds like they're both blue text y'alls. But he confirms that they use Signal way more than they used anything else. When do you recall, or, do you recall a point in time? It's like, what? What a fumble. It seems like they're trying to pinpoint him and get him to, like, admit when he started to switch over to Signal more often. And then he goes, did you see back to the email? Miss Nathan says, reading, he's aware we're going for blankety blank blank, blank blank blank. Hope you had a good lunch. I don't know why that cheeps me so much. Hope you had a good lunch. Well, let's get back to it, you know. We were talking before about... Oh, that got me. I don't know why that got me so good. He's like, I think I asked you about, the record keeping. He's like, Jed's probably like, did you? What? This is such a weird question. If we wanted to recreate one of your days in that period of time after the fact, say, mid-October, end of October 2024, would you have anything in terms of records other than, your text messages, emails, and phone records? What kind of question is that? You wanted to recreate my day back in October. What? He's like, what are you asking? I'm sorry. And he's like, any information that you would have stored somewhere to help us recreate one of your days. Go, what? Sir, we're not going to hand you evidence on a platter. You're going to have to get it. He's just like, no. Do you keep, not that I'm aware of. I'm sorry, not that I'm aware of. Okay, do you keep a calendar? Yeah, there's a calendar. Do you have a calendar personally? He's like, yeah, everybody has an iPhone calendar. And if you get invited to a Zoom or a Teams meeting or something like that, does that show up on your iPhone? Objection. Yeah, if somebody sends you a link, it just populates sometimes. You accept or deny. So sometimes we'll have depending on whether somebody sent you an invite, your email or your otherwise sent you an invite that populates into your... What? Golly, really fumbled on this. I wonder if he had to do this down in Texas. Maybe the flight jacked him up a little bit. I don't know. But then it gets into more blankety blanks. But we're back. The Texas case. Ooh. In fact, Miss Lively has prevented us from taking discovery in the Texas case. So if questions are limited to the New York case where accusations are clear about what she's alleging, I'll let him answer. But I don't want him answering questions about what. Can they do that? I don't know. Whatever. Okay. I'm going to guess Babcock was the one that said all that. So Gottlieb says, well, as you recall, Ms. Lively's deposition, you in your limited time, and it was limited, asked her questions about Texas 202 position, right? Babcock says, well, I asked her what I asked her. But I wasn't asking her about the Texas case. He's like, I'm not asking you. Wait, what? But from my understanding, anything that's said in this deposition could probably be used in the Texas case, right? Okay. And then it says, question, but at any point in time, perhaps other than your allegations in your Texas complaint, have you ever claimed or alleged that she fabricated her allegations of sexual harassment? Jed says, not that I recall. Has or have you ever, to your knowledge, he says, okay, at any point in time did you gain that? He says, Babcock's been my lawyer since 2020. That was my first phone call. We were trying to process what it meant. All right, do you understand that when you receive this email and attached to cease and desist, you are required to preserve all documents? Babcock says, I don't need to say this, but exclude conversations with your lawyer or lawyers. And he says that, yes, he knew he was supposed to preserve stuff. And did you understand that document, do you understand you're required to preserve them all? And you saw the long description of the electronically stored information in this letter. You saw the things like WhatsApp and Signal, and emails and texts. what steps did you take? And I don't want to know about the conversations you had, but what steps did you take personally to preserve them? He goes, I called my lawyer. Oh, I love that. Okay. Apart from talking to them, which I will not ask you about, did you take any steps to personally engage and document? He goes, I did what they said. Oh, I love this. Oh, Jed, I called my lawyer. I did what they... Fuck yes. Oh my God, that's so good. That's such a good answer. That's even better than the what was the deposition I read with the Meg Thee Stallion? That guy was so silly. Then Gottlieb's like, did you personally go into your phone and change the settings on your Signal app after receiving this letter? I don't recall doing that. Okay, do you recall examining the retention settings on the street relations emails? And he goes, I don't recall. Does it have retention settings? And he goes, yeah, they retain everything. From my understanding, I don't recall. So you don't know if that's indefinite or some period. He goes, I literally have no idea as we sit here. Do you recall going into your WhatsApp? No, doesn't recall anything about iMessage either. You from time to time use the voice feature, is that right? And am I right that the voice note feature is configured in a way on Apple devices where they won't automatically be saved? And he goes, I don't know the specifics. I don't even know the specifics. You know when that little keep button comes up, I'm like, I don't fucking know. Should I keep this? Should I not? And he's like, I literally have no idea. And he goes, do you have any other email account? And he goes, there's a MAC address. And he says, okay. And he goes, but nothing for business. And he goes, have you ever received or sent whether? And then we miss a huge chunk of stuff. And it went from page 235 to page 315. And now it's, yeah, I don't recall. And Gottlieb's like, you can't rule it out? We got an objection. Ooh, it's getting spicy now. And he goes, you've got to answer my question, sir. It's a yes or no question. Can you rule out the possibility that you were on a signal chain? They're all object. Okay, were you connecting or communicating with people at TAG? And he's like, yeah, correct. Okay, and you just don't recall whether this, among other signal chats, were the signal chats you were on. I wouldn't be able to keep them all straight neither.